Toby, this is your first chance to be a head coach at really any level. How's it been, like, owning training camp and taking that on?
It's been a thrill, actually. I've enjoyed every minute of it. It came with a lot of preparation, the weeks and months leading up to arriving here in Austin. But it's a great group to work with. There's a lot of continuity within the team and within the coaching staff, aside from myself. So that's helped a lot. It's helped the transition.
When you look at the fact that you guys don't have a preseason game, you guys are on an island, geographically. How do you change the prep and training camp to make sure you get up to that game speed before October 10th?
Yep, that's a great question. Without a training camp, without a game, a preseason game, we've really had to focus on the practices, and we've focused on the details. We found little ways to kind of cheat our way through it by setting up drills that are game-like, setting up scrimmages. We've had good numbers here in camp so far, so we've had the opportunity to do some inter-squad scrimmages, and we're trying to stress the importance of getting the systems down, making sure the intangibles are all there so that when the puck drops for real on Friday night, we're already in game mode.
Does it feel, do you feel anything when you look up and see that Calder Cup banner?
Yeah, the Calder Cup banner's it's a welcome sight. When I arrived here a couple, whatever it was, 6 weeks ago or whatever, I saw it for the first time. I've only ever seen it on video, so it was really cool to see that, and brings a lot of pride.
What made you decide now is the time to switch from a skills coach to a head coach, and what kind of advantage do you think that skills coach route gives you for player development?
It's the opportunity. I couldn't pass up this opportunity to be with this organization and this group of players, this group of people. So opportunities like this don't come along often, and when they do, you gotta, in my opinion, you have to grasp them and run with it. And as far as my background, I think I've had a pretty diverse background, obviously as a player, assistant coach in the American League, and then skills coach at the NHL level. It's bringing me different perspectives, so I think I can help guys on an individual basis with parts of their game that they might need to work on just from the skill side, but also being that assistant coach and running power plays in the past, and being a player at the highest level, I think will help me help me provide messaging to the players and get them to the NHL so that they're there to stay and not just there for a cup of coffee.
What do you
Curtis
remember?
joked about this being his 71st season playing hockey. So what is his leadership doing for this team, and of course y'all's relationship?
Yeah, Curtis, we go way back, but his leadership is huge. I mean, I knew that before even being signed the head coaching position here. When they were visiting the Eagles last year, I came down to see him, and all I heard was good things from Graham, Mo, and Max. So it goes without saying that he's a huge piece for us, and his play on the ice, also his leadership off the ice, are huge for our team.
What do you remember about being his teammate? Like, what was he like as a teammate?
Well, he was young. That's what I remember. He was young, and he was full of energy, and he still is. He's got good energy, but he was a great player, and I've been watching him and following his career throughout, like I do with all my old teammates, and he's made quite a run. So he's I don't know, he's settled down, seeing him off the ice. Obviously, he's got the family, he's got the wife and the children, so it's great to see the progress he's made in life off the ice. But he's also he's a great leader in the room and provides a lot for us, so he's an important part.
It was a little surprising to see Emil Hemming is with Texas. Was there a specific reason why y'all decided to pull him up here rather than playing juniors another year?
That's a decision for Scott White and Jim Nill, and I'm here to coach the players on the ice and just try to make them the best we can.
You've emphasized the importance of not only developing the new players, but also making sure that veterans don't slip through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak on how you plan on doing that with Mackenzie and the other veterans on the team?
Yep, continuing to just pay attention to details in their game as well. When you see them make mistakes, don't just let it slide and say, oh, they get it, they know. You have to actually remind them that there's a certain standard that we expect of every player on the team, whether they're young or old, and you hold them to the same standard you hold the other guys. But you just want to make them feel seen and feel important, which because they are. I mean, obviously beyond their leadership skills, our team is going to go as they go, so we want to make sure that they're playing their best. Everyone's going to follow them.
With the preseason games, there's the players on the ice, but there's also you guys on the bench. You mentioned the prospect game that was your best opportunity to gel with Travis and Max. Have you guys had a chance to build on that in the intervening 3 or 4 weeks now?
Yeah, we talked. I mean, coming out of those games, we kind of took some mental notes and we discussed some of the flow of the game and who's responsible for what, and who's going to have the board on us if we get to a 6-on-5 situation or 5-on-6, all that kind of stuff. So we've divvied up our tasks pretty well, and we're pretty dialed and ready to go.
And everybody on the staff has playing experience. Was that intentional putting the staff together?
I think it's always an advantage. It's not a necessity, but I do think it's an advantage to have guys who have been there, done that, and it lends a little credibility to the messaging that we're giving, knowing that who we're speaking to, they usually know these guys played, they get it, they understand that what looks easy from above is sometimes hard in real time on the ice. The game moves pretty fast, and when you play it, I think it helps guys understand that.
We talked about the returning players. One of those is in net, Remy, who really came into his own during the Western Conference Final. What does that mean to have such a steady presence in net?
Yep, it's huge to have Remy. I mean, you know, despite all the Zamboni back there, with Remy and nets, it's a big advantage having a guy who's, you know, played his best hockey when the chips were down, and you know, we needed him to play big last year. I wasn't here, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, Remy played his best hockey down the stretch, and that's huge. So we want him to pick up where he left off last year and continue to grow on that.
Anything else for Toby?
As far as systems, there were some small differences last year between Texas and Dallas. Are y'all planning on matching between Dallas and Texas? Is goalie giving you some advice on that?
Yeah, we've had several meetings and phone conversations with the Dallas staff, and you know, we try to at least lay the groundwork so that any call-up that we have is ready to play both systems. But we're definitely in tune with what Dallas is doing. In the end, though, the message they gave us is, you know, you got to do what's best for you guys. But as long as they know this, in my opinion, as long as they know the system pretty well, really well, we want them to be able to step in and not have to, you know, be overthinking by trying to figure out a new system when they get to Dallas. So we're doing a good job trying to maintain some continuity throughout the organization.
You've been in these players' shoes, like specifically your actual shoes. How much do you reflect on that and lean on that? And is there anything that you try to share just heading into a new season?
Each player is different. I think that between Max, Mo, and myself, I should say Max, Travis, and myself, we can relate to pretty much any individual in that room. Our experiences are all unique, just like theirs are. But I think we have a lot to offer. And then it's not just our coaches; it's also our development staff. You know, so we've got a slew of resources that these guys can fall back on, and we are always encouraging them to utilize those resources. You know, from my personal point of view, I came in as a bit of an offensive player, a bit of an offensive threat, had a great rookie year in the minor leagues, got to the NHL and didn't quite pan out, and I had to reinvent my game. So I think that's a lesson I can give guys, and obviously we want to continue to try to get the most out of them, but just being adaptable and ready to play as whatever role is needed in any particular game is a huge advantage and can help you get back to the NHL.
Have you seen a benefit of having so many returners on this roster?
Yeah, it's going to be big. I mean, there's new coach in Dallas, new coach here in Austin, and those returners help kind of right the ship and keep things moving in the center lane. So it's going to be big, and we're going to lean on them heavily, especially early on. We do have a young roster in certain spots, so those old guys, quote-unquote old guys, will help us stay the course.
Toby, you mentioned seeing a lot of familiar faces here. You know, what just makes the Dallas Stars organization so special that it retains people?
Yeah, it's clear that they retain people. When I'm walking around at camp up there, I see tons of familiar faces that were there as far back as 2007, 2008. So it's great to see, and I think they reward loyalty and they reward good work, and I think that's something that we all want to fight for and all want to achieve. So it's nice to see that they don't just have new people coming in every year. They're always trying to keep things in-house and make hires of good qualified candidates.
What do you hope a Toby Petersen-led team looks like?
Hardworking, yep. I mean, we all say it, hard to play against, but I don't want our guys to ever give up on a play, ever give up on a puck. I want to come up with those loose pucks, and hopefully our guys reflect that in the way they play.
Good. You got a good sense of how the line are going to be looking like for opening night.
Yeah, we're still. I mean, you can see the numbers out there are huge, so we're still working through some stuff, and like I said, kind of waiting to see who falls to us, who's with us, and who's up, and we'll go from there.